when you're buying. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're gonna get a little bit real, gonna get a little bit personal. As most of you know, last year I filmed my year in retrospect, talking about makeup and makeup addiction, and about kind of the whole crazy consumerism coming down on us rampantly through the beauty community and the makeup companies that are shilling and selling to us. Well, it's been a year, and I thought it would be good to kind of recap this year and kind of discuss some things that I've learned and discuss some things that I didn't necessarily do so well at. I've literally got 2.5 pages of points, so I think we should just get into it and start getting into some of this nitty-gritty that isn't addressed in the community. Okay, let's just cut to the chase. In the year of 2018, I have spent $5,361 on makeup. And the scary thing about that is the fact that I know that's not all of it. Literally after I made this list, I was going through my head. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to tally those. Oh yeah, I got all those foundations. Oh yeah, there's so many things I missed. So it's probably closer to $6,000. Last year, I had spent around $2,000, and I made the statement that this year, I wanted to try and spend less. Obviously, that didn't happen. I mean, the tally for this year is just so bad. I mean, it's freakishly insane, the amount. I mean, that could have been most of my trip to Japan. That could have cleared up my student loans. One thing that I've learned is it isn't bad to spend money on makeup or other things. We all spend money, but it's kind of finding that when is enough enough. Obviously, I didn't do a good job of cutting back. I, in fact, spent more than I did last year while I was trying to actually spend less. So I obviously failed royally in that department. This year has actually really helped me to kind of look more in depth into my spending habits and kind of analyze the why and the what and the who and the where about me purchasing makeup. And I mean, I love makeup. I love makeup the way that my husband loves his games, or the way that the stamp collector loves their stamp collection. It is a passion, it is a drive, it is a hobby, it is something that I enjoy using and having. I mean, you guys all know that makeup for me is more than just plastering stuff on my face. It is an artistic medium, and it is my favorite artistic medium because it literally enables me to be able to morph into whatever I want to be. YouTube has definitely given me sort of an excuse to buy more makeup because I'm like, well, I want to review things for you, and even aside from regular reviews, I want to be trying new things to let you guys know my opinions on things. And you would think, I review quite a lot. I review a fair amount, especially during peak release times, where there are more things coming out than in the summer. I reviewed a lot at the tail end of this year. Compared to how much makeup is being released every single blinking day, it's honestly not even a drop in the bucket of the makeup that is available and being released. And with that, I've come to understand, and I've come to appreciate, and I've come to realize that I don't need to buy everything. Back when I started makeup, starting really getting into it, I needed to have anything and everything. Drugstore, high-end, middle ground. If it was a new thing, it was yes, you shall be mine, and you will be in my collection of makeup that I never use because I have too much. And through this year, I've really been able to step back and look at something and be yeah, that would be nice to review, but is it really something I'm going to use after the review? And I've bought way more this year than I did last year, but this year there have also been a lot less disappointments. I feel like that's because I have been a lot more, even though I've been bringing in more. I've been able to really look at something and be like, am I really going to get use out of you? Am I really going to like you? And so because of that more critical analyzation of the things that are coming out comparative to what I have in my collection, I'm able to make a lot less mistakes and have a lot less disappointments of things. Even though you can't, a bad formula is a bad formula, aka the Kat Von D fetish collection. And things that I've learned here is, I'm not gonna buy, probably not. If Anastasia comes out with a glow kit, I'm gonna snatch that. But other than that, I'm not really gonna be buying more face palettes because I've learned that I don't really reach for them. I go for singles more than palettes, especially palettes that have like blush, highlighter, and bronzer in them. You give me a highlighter palette, I'll highlight it with something with like the trio in there. I'm just like, nah. So that's off the list. No more bullet lipsticks. I just find that I don't reach for them. I like to overline my lips, obviously, as you can see with this travesty here. And a bullet lipstick just doesn't give me that like precise whatever, so that's kind of out of the way. Not going for anything matte in the face department, so any kind of matte setting powder, any kind of matte foundation, any kind of matte setting spray, that's a no. I want to invest more in skincare because I have come to realize that your makeup is only as good as your canvas. And my canvas needs a lot of work. This year, I've really learned and I now know more about my makeup self than I did last year. But the amount of makeup I've bought and the amount of money I've spent on it this year is still really ridiculous and is not something that dictates, I feel, a normal consumer in the market. I definitely buy more than the average. And I love makeup. I love buying it. I love wearing it. I love testing it. I love reviewing it. And one thing that I have realized that is a negative, like we're discussing all these like positives, I've realized things about myself and my inner makeup journey. There is a negative, and that is a certain level of frustration that comes from purchasing and owning as much makeup as I do. And I love highlighters. You all know I love highlighters. Highlighter is life. But sometimes I'll be going, I'll be real with you all. I got those drawers over there, and I got 4 drawers filled with highlighters. And sometimes I'll find myself sitting there and looking at all of them and getting frustrated. Not because I'm upset about how much makeup I have, well, to a certain degree I am, but because I'm like looking at these and being like, oh wow, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and then getting frustrated because I feel like there's not enough makeup to be done, not enough cheekbone, not enough nose to use all of these products that I love. Like I'll just be going through and looking through, oh yeah, I should have used this, but I didn't, and just, ugh. And it's nice to have a big collection. I love the variety of basically having any color, any finish, any whatever of anything I could possibly ever actually need. But when is it literally too much? And like at what point should I stop? A part of me feels like I shouldn't have to. It's my money, it's my passion, it's my hobby, it's what I love. And people spend money on what they love. People buy shoes, people buy bags, people buy all different kind of things, and makeup just happens to be my most expensive outlet. And I know some of you have expressed concern, very, very, very nice concern and empathy, and when you see the kind of excess that I am hauling in. And I appreciate all y'all's love and concern. You don't have to be worried. I am not spending myself into a black hole. My husband and I talk things out. We each have an allowance. We use it for whatever we want. We are good in that avenue. But even so, the problem isn't that I spend my money on makeup. The problem is how much money I spend on makeup, which obviously is a lot. The makeup literally isn't the problem itself. The makeup becomes a problem because it's being used in sort of a cycle of an addiction. And I do have an addictive personality. Oftentimes when I get into something, whether it be like a fandom or a TV show I like or makeup or anything that I become passionate about, I tend to go very hardcore, like it's like 0 to 100 real quick. And it like has this thing where it's like, it's so addictive, and it really is that addictive thing where like that thing, the makeup, the anime, the whatever, is what gives me value as a person. And so it's like, I mean, should we not be allowed to buy and enjoy what we love? I mean, I feel like the makeup, the beauty community is like really split right now. Like you have the people who are like, yes, big, ginormous, amazing, friggity fracking collections. I literally saw one lady's video. I didn't watch it because my head would probably explode. But I think she was either doing her eyeshadow palette collection or her makeup collection. And in the thumbnail, it was like over 1,200 palettes. And I know I have a lot of palettes. I think I put up my declutter and I know it was over 100. Was it over 200? I can't remember. It was a ridiculously exorbitant amount, but just the thought of literally having 1,200 palettes, I'm like, that's so much. And then you have the other half that's like project panning and like, minimal, just keeping a little bit. And I'm like, I kind of want to find that happy medium that like I have a lot, but I use it and I love it, and I'm also actively trying to use up products as well. I even tried project panning. I think I have 2 videos talking about it, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore. It was so hard. And what was hard wasn't the actively trying to use something up. It was the updating that was really hard, because I like having my makeup, and this is my own like anal whatever behavior. I like having my makeup just so. I don't like having it like separated. Like after I use it, it's like, all right, put it back, keep it together, and that's probably my own thing. And so I didn't have like all my project pan items like out and like in like this is the project pan basket, and then I would lose track of what I was project panning, and then I'd get frustrated. Then some of my project panning stuff was in Tennessee, and it was just kind of like a fail all around. But I have been, since doing that project panning, I have been kind of filled with that, oh, well, instead of bouncing back and forth between things, why don't we actively try to use some stuff up? And that has been phenomenal. The satisfaction you get out of finishing something up, whether it's a primer, a highlighter, a powder, a liquid, foundation, panning, an eyeshadow, the satisfaction is like almost just as good as buying something. And honestly, this year, I kind of want to do a low buy. Like, you guys know that I love doing reviews. I do a fair amount of reviews on here. And I'm like, what if for a year or maybe 6 months or a couple months, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm emotionally stable to do a year where I only buy things that I really passionately want to review. Like, instead of just going in and being like, oh, well, I want to try this highlighter formula, or oh, well, I love that blush formula, so I need to complete the set. I'm just like, no, you're just gonna get that one palette to review, and that's it. But basically just purchasing things to review, not just to have, because I love reviewing things for you guys. My reviews tend to go over pretty well on this channel. But honestly, I am not going to begrudge myself something that I want. And usually when I do a review, it's something that I want. Like, I'm not like, oh, here's a new palette, I have to review it because it's new. No, I'm like, ooh, that's the new palette I want to have, and reviewing it is kind of like the icing on the cake, and then I get to have it. So kind of just taking 2019 and going into it with the sense of I already have so much. I have enough highlighter, blush, and just everything that I could ever possibly need, and branching out more into more reviews, different reviews. I want to do some foundation reviews with like wear tests and everything like that, instead of just incessantly buying just to have. And I feel like that's when it becomes a problem. When you're buying makeup, occasionally you're like, oh, okay, I'll pick this up here or this up here, that's whatever. But when you're literally just like buying it just to have it, and you're buying it like frequently, that's when it becomes really just kind of rampant consumerism. And like anything, whether it's addiction or something that you're doing, you don't want to quit it cold turkey. And I don't want to quit it cold turkey. I just want to be kind of more of a consumerism aware turkey. And that's kind of what I have for you guys today here. This was just kind of a going through a thoughtful discussion, me talking about things that I have realized within this 2018 year journey. Definitely let me know what you guys have been up to. I know I have a subscriber. She is doing a like year-long no-buy, and I'm like, props to you, because I could not do that. I would probably explode. So let me know what your thoughts are on just kind of this whole topic thing going along. I do want to do like more videos like this and do more like serious talky videos addressing more aspects of makeup addiction. Let me know what you think about no buys, low buys, all that kind of thing, whether you've done them, you've experienced them, you recommend doing it. I do love hearing your guys' opinions on these kind of like more in-depth, more serious topics than just being like, ooh, look, pretty makeup. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here in my like journey of self-exploration and makeup and everything for those who were here for last year's. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!